Hello, Black Vegan Academy folks. How are you today? Welcome to my Tanzanian kitchen. One of the things I've heard people ask about a lot is how you make your beans and your greens taste good when you don't have meat. Well, trust me, you can make them taste just as good, maybe even better. And today I'll show you my technique for making amazingly flavorful beans. So here are my beans, which I soaked overnight, and they are fairly soft. They shouldn't take very long to cook. These are a yellowish bean. I don't know what you call them. They call a lot of things soya, even though they look very different. And these cook up pretty quickly. So anyway, they're just cooking in plain water for a little while, and I'm going to add in the spices and seasonings after they've done some cooking, which will help the flavors be stronger. So then the last hour or so they'll cook with all the seasonings. So to start, I'm going to be doing what in Indian cooking you call tempering, and so it's by heating and sauteing the spices and veggies and things in the pan, and then I'll add those here. And because we do oil free as much as possible, I'll be just using water instead of oil, and it really works just as well. So I'm going to turn on the heat, and I will start with no water at first, and I have some fennel seeds here and some mustard seeds and a bay leaf, and I just chose those ones for today. I always like to experiment, use whatever you like. You could use whole cumin seeds. I'm going to use ground cumin, so I'm not using the whole seeds. Whatever it is turns you on. So we're going to just let those cook in here a little bit until they start to pop a little or toast a little. And then we'll be adding some ground spice. I have some paprika, that's the cumin, and some chili powder, or just a little ground chili, because I have a hot pepper I'm adding too, and those hot peppers tend to be pretty spicy. So we'll just let those toast up a little bit more. And that really helps to bring out the flavors. I'm also adding some fresh thyme from my garden. I'm just going to go ahead and add that right into the pot. You could also use, oregano or basil, whatever you like. I really like the flavor of the thyme. Okay, they're starting to pop a little. I add these dried or ground spices. And those. I use the fennel because fennel is actually what gives sausage its sausage flavor. So I'm thinking that it might help add that kind of sausage depth to the beans. And now I am going to add some garlic and onions, and I have some tomato juice on the stove here. You see, I haven't even added any of the water yet. I think I will now. Just a little. Keep it from scorching. these are some bell pepper as well as the hot peppers. Pili pili, as they're called here in Tanzania. Hot peppers are pili pili, and pili pili hoho as the green pepper or the bell pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes also, but I could wait if I wanted. And then I'm just going to let all of that saute together a little. Water. I generally wait to add the salt until closer to being done cooking. I'm not quite sure why. I heard, I think I heard one time that salt, if you add it too early, excuse me. If you add the salt too early, it keeps the beans from softening up. I don't really know if that's true. And that smells really, really good. Really good. Alright, just let that cook another minute or two. Turn the heat up some. And then I'm going to add juice of a lemon into the pot, and we'll let it cook for, till their beans are all the way soft. All right, that looks good. Other things you might add is some curry powder or some turmeric. You could add some ginger. If you don't have fresh hot peppers, you can add some, crushed red pepper. So yeah, the turmeric or curry powder, whatever spices you like, and I really encourage you to experiment, because that's how you're going to learn exactly what it is you like. And the spices and the herbs, onion and garlic, are what is going to really bring these beans to life. I'm going to add that in there. Looks lovely. And just let that simmer for another hour or so. And we'll have some delicious beans and rice for dinner tonight. Let me add this lemon. Tomatoes came out of my garden too. The last few little tomatoes. We planted some new cherry tomatoes, and there's some volunteer tomatoes coming up as well, but this will be the last of these plum tomatoes for a while. From the garden anyway. I'll have to be buying them at the market. And boy, the markets here are just amazing. The spread of vegetables and fruits that are available there. All right, so there we go. Here's the basis of my beans. I soaked them overnight. Then I cooked them for, I've been cooking them for about an hour. And I've added add the tempering, the sauteed onions and peppers and garlic and herbs or spices. Added my fresh herbs and my dried herbs, some lemon juice, and now we'll just let that simmer. And come back in another hour or so and have a nice, tasty dinner. So that's how to make some beans that you won't miss the meat flavoring. Oh, one other thing is to add a smoked flavor. You can use smoked paprika. I just used regular paprika because I can't find the smoked here. Another thing is chipotle pepper powder that has a smoky flavor too. Some people like to add a little bit of liquid smoke. I tend to avoid that. I'm not quite sure what's in it. But that way you can still get that smokiness if that is something that you really like. Okay, so that's it for now. And I will share a picture with the final dish. So here are the beans. They're all done. They're nice and tasty. The broth has thickened up quite a bit. And in fact, if I let it cook a little bit more, it'll probably thicken up even more. I did add salt as we got closer to being done. And I, as always do, tasted it and adjusted seasonings. I did add a little more cumin because I like cumin. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this and that you will give it a try in making your own tasty beans. From my Tanzanian kitchen, it's Ama Opare. Talk to you next time. Bye.